Hello. Today, I want to speak quietly about something simple, but deeply important. Discernment. The ability to recognize what is true and what is false. Many people believe the world is divided into good and evil, good people and bad people, right sides and wrong sides, my side and the other side. But when we look more deeply, life is divided by something even more fundamental: truth and falsehood. Truth exists. Truth is real. Truth strengthens life. Truth elevates us. Falsehood, on the other hand, does not truly exist. It is an illusion. It may look powerful on the surface, but its power is not real power. It is force. Real power is quiet, but it does not collapse. False power is loud, but over time, it always weakens. When truth accumulates in your life force becomes stronger. Your mind becomes clearer. Your body feels lighter. Your relationships become cleaner, and a quiet strength begins to grow within you. But when falsehood accumulates in your life, it may feel exciting at first. It may feel intense, stimulating, even seductive. But eventually, it weakens you. It weakens the body. It clouds the mind. It drains the emotions. It causes your energy to leak outward. So we must ask ourselves a simple question: does this make my life more positive? Or does it make my life more negative? The choices that make you and the world around you brighter are closer to truth. The choices that drain you, divide you, darken you, and lower your life force are closer to falsehood. And here is something very important. You do not have to fight falsehood. You do not have to fear it. You do not have to defeat it. You simply need to avoid it. Falsehood weakens you just by staying close to you. At first, you may think it has no effect. But little by little, it begins to enter your language, your thoughts, your emotions, and the quality of your energy. A person with discernment does not always fight. She notices quietly, and she steps away quietly. When you want to recognize truth, you can ask yourself this question: what elevates my life? And by elevation, I do not mean temporary excitement. I do not mean emotional intoxication. I do not mean the brief pleasure of being praised or validated. Real elevation is inner growth. It makes you wider. It makes you deeper. It makes you more loving. It helps you recover your inner power. Love, service, willingness, forgiveness, understanding, the refinement of intelligence, consistent exercise, healthy food, deep rest, honest conversation, keeping promises to yourself. These things elevate life. When you want to recognize falsehood, you can ask yourself another question: what leads my life toward death? What weakens my body? What clouds my mind? What makes my emotions addictive? What makes me impulsive? What makes me powerless? What keeps me comparing myself to others? What keeps me trapped in anger, jealousy, or fear? Exaggerated advertising, alcohol, smoking, gambling, drugs, impulsive spending, violent words, toxic relationships, instant food, endless comparison, a constant hunger for approval. These may seem sweet at first, but eventually, they weaken life. So the real cheat code in life is not a complicated skill. It is discernment, the power to know what strengthens you, the power to know what weakens you, the power to know what to keep close, and what to keep away. This power can change the direction of a person's life. But there is something we must be careful about. Truth is not the same as feeling justified. Everyone feels justified from their own point of view. Even people who hurt others, criticize others, or deceive others, may feel, in that moment, that they are right. So justification is subjective. Truth is different. Truth is closer to objectivity. Truth is closer to what does not change. Truth is closer to what remains, even when time passes. For example, I exist. This is true. But I am better than others. This is not truth. That is comparison. That is the ego speaking. That belongs to the world of illusion. Real self-esteem is the same. Self-esteem is not telling yourself, I am amazing, I am special, I am superior to others. Real self-esteem is the proportion of truth in your life. How much truth is in your thoughts? How much truth is in your words? How much truth is in your relationships? How much truth is in your daily choices? As that proportion rises, a person becomes quietly strong. She is not overly shaken by praise. She does not collapse easily under criticism, because she is not empty inside. But when falsehood takes up too much space in life, There are many empty places within. Falsehood is an illusion. It may look like something is there, but it cannot truly fill you. So a person tries to fill those empty spaces with energy from the outside. More attention, more approval, more stimulation, more consumption, more comparison, more control. But no matter how much comes from the outside, the emptiness does not stay filled for long. Even lack itself can be seen as a form of falsehood. When we forget the truth that we already exist, when we forget the truth that we are already worthy, we keep trying to pull something from the outside. So how do we develop discernment? There is a very simple way. Write down what makes you physically and mentally weaker. Which people leave your energy drained? Which content makes your mind feel cloudy? Which habits make your body feel heavy? Which words make your inner world feel smaller? Write them down, and avoid them as much as you can. Then write down what makes you physically and mentally stronger. What clears your mind? Who brings out the better part of you? Which habits make you feel grounded? Which choices leave peace inside you? Write them down, and continue them. Discernment does not appear all at once. It grows through small daily choices. What will I watch today? Whose words will I allow into my heart today? What will I eat today? Which thoughts will I repeat today? Which emotions will I stay with today? These small choices gather together and create the energy of a person. Perhaps heaven and hell are not so far away. Heaven is a life that chooses truth again and again, in every situation, not because it is perfect, but because even after falling, it returns to truth. Hell is a life that continues to choose falsehood. Whether consciously or unconsciously, the more falsehood is chosen, the more cloudy the inner world becomes, and life becomes heavier. Of course, even a person with discernment can make mistakes. She can be swept away by emotion. She can be shaken by fear. She can choose falsehood because of pride. But what matters is the ability to return. Oh, this choice weakened me. This direction lowered my life force. Let me choose truth again. To notice and return. That repetition is training. And as this training continues, choosing truth becomes a habit. At first, you may have to choose it with effort. But one day, it becomes your natural way of being. Then you become closer and closer to a life of high purity truth. You no longer lose your energy so easily to the force of falsehood. You no longer follow fake power. You no longer try to prove yourself through illusion. You simply exist, quietly, clearly, strongly, and a person like that becomes attractive in a very natural way. Without trying too hard, there is peace around her. Without proving herself, her presence is felt. Without controlling others, people feel safe around her. Because the proportion of truth within her is high. To choose high purity truth, while still having compassion for those who carry falsehood, that is a very high state of love. Whatever the religion, whatever the culture, whatever the time period, this is what many great spiritual figures have shown. Choose truth, but do not hate those who are still lost in falsehood. Still, discernment is needed here too. Compassion does not always mean staying close. Love does not mean allowing what harms you. Forgiveness does not mean walking back into the same wound. You can have compassion for someone and still keep a healthy distance. That is mature discernment, especially when spirituality or religion is used to bind people. We must be careful. If something does not make you freer, clearer, more loving, and stronger inside, but instead holds you through fear and guilt, it may not be close to truth. If it binds you to religion and demands excessive money and time, look at it very carefully. Truth makes people free. Truth strengthens the inner world. Truth elevates life. You do not need to make a dramatic decision today. Just discern one small thing. Does this strengthen me, or does this weaken me? Does this make my life clearer, or does it make my life cloudy? Is this closer to love, or is it closer to fear? One question can bring you back to your center. And remember this: an attractive woman does not shine by controlling others. She shines by removing falsehood from within and increasing the proportion of truth in her life. She is not loud, but she is deep. She does not force, but she is clear. She does not try too hard, but she remains in people's hearts. Today, keep close to what gives life to you, and quietly step away from what weakens you. That is discernment, and that discernment will change your life in the quietest, strongest way.